myself, Chandra Prakash Reddy, Assistant Professor of Physics, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College, Dundigal, Hyderabad. In this lecture, I am going to cover about helium neon laser and applications of laser. In the last classes, we have discussed about ruby laser. We discussed the drawbacks and advantages of ruby laser. So now I am going to explain about the helium neon laser. Coming to the helium neon laser, this is a gaseous laser. The wavelength produced in the helium neon laser is 632.8 nanometers or 6328 angstrom units. Most widely used laser is helium neon laser. It operates at the wavelength of 632.8 nanometers. It was developed in Bell Laboratories in 1962. Helium neon laser is a gas laser and it is a continuous laser. At the same time, it is 4-level. Example for 4-level scheme. In that active medium is helium and neon gases in the ratio of 10:1 respectively. In that tube is filled with helium and neon gases in the ratio of 10:1, and neon atoms are responsible for the lasing action. Here helium particles are used to excite the neon particles from ground state to excited state. That is the role of helium particles. And neon particles are responsible for lasing action. Energy source: 2 electrodes are fixed near to the ends of the tube to pass the electric discharge through the gas, and this is the energy source. In every type of laser, 3 requirements are compulsory. What are the 3 requirements here? First one is the active medium and active particles in that. After that, energy source, nothing but pumping mechanism. After that, optical cavity. Optical cavity. To give the optical feedback, optical cavity is necessary. So coming to the active medium, helium and neon gases in the ratio of 10:1, and energy sources, 2 electrons are fixed near to the ends of the tube, pass the electric discharge. And coming to the construction of the helium neon laser. Helium neon laser consists of a long, narrow cylindrical tube made of a fused quartz of diameter around 2 to 8 millimeters and length around 10 to 100 centimeters. The tube is filled with helium and neon gases in the ratio of 10:1. The pressure of mixture of gases inside the tube is nearly 1 mm of Hg. So here we have taken one quartz tube. This is the quartz tube. In the helium and neon gas is filled in the ratio of 10:1. So we are connected to the electrodes. These are acted as a pumping sources, and 2 ends of the quartz glass tube is this one is 100% reflected, and this is 95% silver. So these 2 ends are acted as a optical cavity. Construction part again, see, the tube is filled with helium and neon gases in the ratio of 10:1. 2 electrodes are fixed near to the ends of the tube to pass the electric discharge through the gas. It is acted as a pumping mechanism. 2 optically plane mirrors are fixed at the 2 ends of the tube. That is acted as a optical resonator. These 2. The excited neon atoms transist to ground state to 3 different ways, leading to 3 lasers of different wavelengths. They are the transition from 3s to 3p. Here 3 transitions are possible in the laser transition. Instead of in the ruby laser, only one transition, that is 6943 angstroms of wavelength. But here 3 transitions are possible in between the existing energy levels. One transition is 3s to 3p level, gives rise to 3.39 micrometers, and 3s to 2p, that is 632.8 nanometers important wavelength, and 2s to 2p 1.15 micrometers of wavelength. These 3 transitions are possible in the helium neon laser. Before that, so one of the mirrors, to get the optical cavity, about the optical cavity, one of the mirrors is fully silvered so that nearly 100% reflection takes place. The other is partially silvered so that 1% is IE incident on will be transmitted. This is about the construction part. Then see the construction diagram. And this is the glass tube. In that glass tube is filled with helium and neon gases in the ratio of 10:1. After that, two ends polished. One end is 100% silver and second end is other end is 95% silver, and connected to the electrodes, cathode and anode, which is gives a pumping mechanism. So I am giving the dimensions also. Coming to the working principle, lasing action is due to only neon atoms. Neon atoms only. Helium are used to selective pumping of neons from ground state to the higher energy states. So let's see in the energy level diagram. That will we see in the energy level diagram. So lasing action only due to neon particles. Helium particles are used to excite the neon particles. That is the role of helium particles. When a discharge is passed through a gaseous mixture, when the discharge is passed through a gaseous mixture, then electrons are accelerated down the tube. These accelerated electrons collide with the ground state helium atoms and excite them to metastable states. So we will see in the energy level diagram. The helium atoms in the metastable state collide with the neon atoms in the ground state and excited to 3s level. This is the energy level diagram. Here from the discharge tube, by collide with the helium particles, so helium atoms are excited to the energy states 2s1 and 221s, s1, s0. So after that, these helium particles are used to excite the neon particles from ground state to 2s and 3s. Then helium neon collision. So after that, 3 laser transitions are possible. So already we discussed 3s to 3p, 3.399 micrometers of wavelength. Major transition 3s to 2p, 6328 angstrom units, 6328 angstrom units are 632.8 nanometers, and 2s to 2p 1.15 micrometers wavelength. So similarly, the helium atoms in the metastable state 2,3s collide with the neon atoms in the ground state and excite them to 2s energy level. So here when we observe the 2s1, helium particles are used to excite the neon particles from ground state to 2s level. 2s1 particles are used to, helium particles are used to excite the neon particles to 3s level. These two metastable states. These two are metastable states. What is the role of metastable state? Atoms are holding maximum time in the metastable state. Due to holding atoms in the metastable state, then we achieve the population inversion in between the two energy levels, in between 3s to 3p, 3s greater than 3p, and 2s greater than 2p. In two ways we are getting population inversion. So atoms from ground state to sending to 2s and 3s energy states, neon particles are greater than to 2p. Here near 3s neon particles are greater than to 3p. And in between we achieve the population inversion. What is population inversion? The number of atoms in the excited state is greater than to the lower energy state is called as population inversion. When we observe the 3s particles having more number of atoms compared to the 3p. So we achieve the population inversion in between 3s and 3p. At the same time, the 2s atoms are greater than to the 2p particles or 2p atoms. So 2p energy level particles. So we achieve the population inversion in here also, in between 2s and 2p also. Means 2s is greater than 2p energy level. So we achieve the population inversion here, 3s to 3p and 2s to 2p also. Then in this only we are getting the laser transition, the wavelength 632.8 nanometers. Then after that, fast radiative transition between 2p and 2p and 1s. After that, 1s to diffusion to walls, 1s to ground state energy level. This is the energy level diagram for a helium neon laser. So before that, again construction. Then during the collisions, this is the total explanation. What am I explaining? That will be clearly in the slide. Coming to the working now. Again, working. Lasing action is due to neon atoms. Helium is used to selective pumping of neon atoms to upper energy level. When the discharge is passed through the gases, through the tube, what will happen? Helium atoms, accelerated electrons. These accelerated electrons collide with the ground state helium atoms. So helium atoms in the metastable state 2,1s collide with the neon atoms in the ground state and excited to 3s level. That's why I am representing in the similar 2s1 and 2,3s. 2,1s is equal to 3s and the energy of the 2,1s is equal to, that's why I am representing here equally. The 2,1s, the energy level of helium in the 2,1s is equal to almost 3s of neon. 2,3s of helium, the energy of 2,3s of helium is equal to 2s of neon. That's why I am equally representing here. So these helium particles are used to excite the neon particles from ground state to 3s, and these 2s1 helium particles are used to excite the neon particles from ground state to 2s energy level. So we achieved population here and here. After the achievement of population inversion, laser transition. During the collision, similarly, the helium atoms in the metastable state 2,3s collide with the neon atoms in the ground state and excite them to the 2s energy level. During collision, the helium atoms transfer their energy to the neon atoms and come back to the ground state. So while collide with the neon particles here and here, they lose some energy and de-excited to the again ground state energy level. Since 2s and 3s levels of neon atoms metastable state, so population inversion takes place at these levels. Any of the spontaneously emitted photon will trigger the lasing action. So what is spontaneous emission again? Then atoms are, for suppose this is the first coming neon atom, or else here first coming neon atom. After completion of atom, this is the excited atom. Excited atom not staying permanently in the excited state. So after completion of lifetime, what will happen? This is de-excited to the next energy level. So while the de-excitation, energy is emitted by the atom. So here three types of laser transition. One is 3s to 3p, one more is 3s to 2p. Possible transitions. Here 2s to 2p. To start the stimulating emission, what is the source to get the laser? Stimulated emission of radiation. But to start the stimulating emission of radiation, we require energy. So that energy may be supplied from the stimulating emission process. Since any of the spontaneously emitted photon will trigger the lasing action. And after that, the excited neon atom transits to the ground state in three different ways, leading to three lasers of different wavelengths already mentioned. These are the wavelengths. So 3.39 micrometers, 3.39 micrometers, and 6,328 angstrom units. And third transition is 1.15 micrometers. These three wavelengths are produced. Coming to the applications of laser, helium neon laser widely used in laboratories and in supermarket. Check out the counters to read the barcodes. To read the barcodes, we are using helium neon laser only. Then scanners. To scan the to scan the papers or to scan anything, we are using helium neon laser. So lasers are used in newspapers also for reproducing transmitted photographs. To transmit the photographs. For reproducing or transmit the photographs, we are using helium neon lasers only. In 3D recording also. 3D recording nothing but 2D recording. What is 2D recording? It is called as a photography. What is 3D recording? 3D recording called as holography. To record the three-dimensional pictures, we are using helium neon laser. To record the three-dimensions pictures, we are called as holography. For that holography, we are using helium neon lasers. These are some of the applications about the helium neon laser. Main applications are laboratory uses and 3D recording. All are main applications only. There are some applications to scan the papers or in the supermarket to read the barcodes. These are some applications of helium neon laser. Now coming to the applications of lasers in different industries or different fields. We have a lot of applications of lasers in different fields like medicine, communication, industry, military, lot of applications we have. So before we are going to discuss about that applications of lasers in different fields. So first see the applications in medicine. In the medicine to surgery, to eye surgery, or to remove the tattoo removal, or to endoscopy, or to remove the kidney stones. Like lot of applications in medicine. In the field of medicine, lasers are widely used in eye surgery, especially to attach the detached retina. Lasers are used for treatments such as plastic surgery, skin injuries, and remove moles, tattoos, and tumors developed in skin tissues. Lasers are used in stomatology, the study of mouth and ear diseases. So these are the delicate parts. Our human body parts are very delicate parts. In surgery or anything, we are using lasers only. Like to remove the stones in the kidneys also, we are using only lasers. The laser radiation is sent through the optical fiber to open the blocked region. Lasers are used to destroy kidney stones. Lasers are used in cancer diagnosis and therapy. Lasers are used in blood loss, laser surgery. These are the various applications. So in communication, how we are using in the communication. So to communicate, nowadays the communication from the earth to moon, to communicate we are using laser source only. So light source is to transmit audio or video signals and data to long distances without attention and distortion. Attenuation nothing but loss in the signal. Without attention and distortion, we are sending video signals or data over the longer distance without using any repeaters. That is possible with only lasers and optical fiber cables. So using the optical fiber cable, we are sending laser lights. From nowadays, the signals are transmitted from earth to moon also. Earth to moon. So laser beam can be used for the communication between the earth to moon. I mentioned already. Laser beam can be used for underwater communication also. Now some of the applications in the industry. So industry purpose we are using to drill the holes in the iron rods. In the iron plate to drill the holes, it is possible with the human, so it is not possible. That's why we are using lasers to to drill the holes in the iron rods. Or to cut the iron rods also we are using. So lasers are used for welding. Dissimilar metals can be welding using lasers. Holes with controlled precision can be drilled in steel, ceramics, diamond and alloys using lasers. Lasers are widely used in electronic industry in trimming the components of ICs. Chips, then ruby laser is used to trim the ICs or resistors, integrated circuits or resistors. These are some applications in industry. We have a lot of applications. The main applications we are discussing now here. So in the industry applications are, what are the industry application? In welding purpose, or to join the iron rods, or to drill the holes, or to trim the IC components. IC is nothing but integrated circuits, or to trim the resistors also. So these are some applications in industry. Cutting metal sheets, diamond and cloves. To cut the diamond also we are using lasers only. Lasers are used for surface treatment, like for diamond rings. For that, to cut the diamond ring in a proper shape, we are using lasers only. Laser beam is used in selective heat treatment for tampering the desired parts in the automobile industry also. And these are some applications. Industry applications only under industry applications. So military application, to target the laser gun. In the laser gun, to target the focusing of high electric laser beam for a few seconds, destroy aircrafts, missiles, etc. These are etc. These are called death rays. LiDAR also is used to estimate the size and shape of a distinct object or war weapons. In computers, all of you know about the computer. By using lasers, a large amount of information or data can be stored in CD or DVD. The storage capacity can be increased nowadays. Lasers are used in computer printers, laser printer called as laser printers. In the printing purpose or to read the CD drive, we are using lasers only. These are some applications about the lasers. I think all of you understand about the lasers very clearly. Thank you for watching.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.